Welcome back for the next lecture on refrigeration and air conditioning. Today we will discuss the aircraft refrigeration systems or the air refrigeration systems which are used in the aircrafts. Now first we will discuss what is the aircraft refrigeration. So aircraft refrigeration means the air refrigeration cycles which are used for air conditioning of aircraft. So at the high altitudes the aircrafts are moving, so at that point the air conditioning is essential. Now why air conditioning is essential, that we will see later on, but in that aircraft the air conditioning systems are required. So here we are using the air refrigeration cycle for air conditioning of the aircrafts, but this air refrigeration cycle is not applicable for all kind of aircraft. So hence we can accept the cargo aircraft systems which are very high speed engine. So these cannot be operated by the air refrigeration cycle. The air is used as a working substance, or that air is used as a refrigerant in aircraft refrigeration system. So hence the air is an important part of the aircraft refrigeration system, and that's why in the aircraft refrigeration system air refrigeration cycles are used. As we know that the air does not allow the phase change process, so only the heating of the air and the cooling of the air. So by this phenomenon only we have to provide the cooling systems, or we have to provide the air conditioning systems. Also we know that the COP of a very air refrigeration cycle is very poor. COP of a vapor air refrigeration cycle is very poor as compared to the vapor compression cycle. But at high altitudes, to match up with the pressure as in temperature, vapor refrigeration system is cannot be used, because at high altitudes the temperature is continuously decreasing and also pressure is reducing. So hence we cannot use the vapor compression cycle, because that vapor compression cycle requires two fixed pressures. One is the evaporator pressure, second one is the compressor pressure. But in the aircraft the pressure is not maintaining the constant, so hence we are using there the aircraft air refrigeration cycle. Now what is the need of air conditioning in the aircraft? As we have discussed, at the high altitudes the temperature and pressure is reduced. So if at that low pressure, why the air conditioning system is required? But so at these high altitudes the surrounding pressure or the surrounding temperature is very less, but inside the aircraft there are some passengers. So these passengers are exceeding the rejecting the heat. So to match up with that heat, also inside the aircraft cabin there is a lighting. So these lights also provided the heat in the cabin surrounding. So removing that heat, suppose 50 passengers are there, and suppose almost 500 watt lighting system is there. So this 500 watt plus these 50 passengers along with their latent and sensible heat, all this heat is added into the aircraft cabin. So these are the various external and internal heat resources which adds heat inside the passenger cabin, and hence the cabin temperature is slightly increases. The surrounding temperature is low, but inside the aircraft cabin the temperature is increases because of the passengers, because of the lights, and because of the some engine resources or some different heat sources are there. So due to which the temperature inside the aircraft cabin is increases. Now we are using here the air refrigeration cycle over the vapor compression cycle. As we know that the air refrigeration cycle is having very less power or less COP as compared to the vapor compression cycle. But still, that air refrigeration cycle are having some certain advantages. So which are the advantages? First, air is easily available. Second, it is no cost of refrigerant, because as you have observed, at the high altitudes always air is easily available, and that air, that surrounding air, does not having any charge, means per kg. If you are taking the vapor compression cycle, then you have to charge for the refrigerant, means that refrigerant is having almost 500 rupees per kg, 1000 rupees per kg. But if you are using air as a mid refrigerant, then you have no charge for the cost of refrigerant, since it is cheap system. Now, the chilled air is directly used for the cooling. The chilled air is directly used for the cooling. So therefore it eliminates the use of piping system, use of evaporator and its weight. As we have know that, because at high altitudes we have to match up with the load as well. So for the aircraft we are generally thinking about the reducing the weight. Hence we can eliminate the weight of the evaporator as well as the extra cost of the evaporator. So if the cold air is prepared, so that cold air is directly passed to the aircraft cabin. Similar thing which cannot be done in case of, because the refrigerant you directly cannot spread over the cabin. So here in the vapor compression cycle we are using the separate evaporator, and that evaporator is exchanging the heat with the help of air. But here we are directly using that chilled air to the passenger cabin. Hence, also the cabin pressurization and air conditioning can be carried out simultaneously. Means both the activities can be performed. Here we are reducing the temperature, hence the air conditioning purpose of the aircraft, and the pressure, cabin pressurization means we are maintaining the cabin pressure over the surrounding pressure, because the surrounding pressure is very low. So at that point we cannot feel comfortable, so that we are maintaining the pressure inside the cabin just above the surrounding pressure. Also it is having the advantage of leakage. So there is, if any small leakage is there, so it is tolerable, means the refrigerant used is as air. So if some air is leak out, so that air is directly mixing inside the cabin, so it will not hamper the human health. So if you are using the vapor refrigerant, if that ammonia is there and that ammonia is leak inside the cabin, then the odor of the ammonia will hamper the comfort conditions of the aircraft cabin. So here we are using the air, so that's why there is no problem of leakage. Also, the air is light. The specific volume or weight, specific weight of the air is light. Therefore, the weight of the air carried the aircraft is very low. Also, the ramming effect can be utilized. Ramming means we are increasing the kinetic energy of the ambient air, and due to that increase in the kinetic energy we are increasing the pressure of that air. So this is called it as a ramming process, that we will see later on what is a ramming process. Also the few advantages are low maintenance cost, because air is used, so there is no any kind of maintenance. Then no additional vibration problems are there. Also the air is non-toxic and non-inflammable. So along with these certain advantages, there are few disadvantages, or you can say it as limitations are there. What are the limitations? The most important limitation of the air cycle is the very low COP. That is one of the big reason. That's why there is a restriction for using the air cycles. Also, the rate of air circulation is relatively large. Means if you are considering the aircraft cabin is having large volume, and that much volume that you have to using the air circulation system. Air circulation means what? Once you have to take out the hot air from the cabin, pass to the compressor or the turbine, and then you have to reject the cold air inside the cabin. So this air circulation rate is very large in case of aircraft refrigeration system. So there are the different methods of aircraft refrigeration system or air refrigeration system. So in this chapter or in this point we will discuss the 4 air refrigeration systems. First one is simple system, second one is bootstrap air refrigeration system, third one is regenerative air refrigeration system, and last one is reduced ambient air temperature system. Reduced ambient air pressure air refrigeration system. So these are the 4 different refrigeration systems which are used in the aircraft refrigeration, out of which that we will see later on.